Let's turn to Evelyn Farkas now, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Eurasia, Ukraine, and Russia under the Obama administration. Evelyn, thanks as always. Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska said today that the Biden administration is not sharing enough intelligence fast enough with the Ukrainians. The Biden administration says that's just false. How important is that intelligence, real-time intelligence on exact locations and exact movements of Russian forces to Ukraine's real survival?
Oh, I mean, Shep, it could be a game changer. So clearly, the Ukrainians are relying on whatever intelligence they can get. The President Zelensky was also asking Maxar and some of these satellite companies if they would, I guess, donate to the Ukrainian government some of their feed. But they need the real-time intelligence that would come from the United States government, which would be better, which would be more accurate.
Are they getting it?
Well, it sounds like they're not getting it as much as they would like. I mean, I think if Senator Sasse is signaling that there's a problem, I do know from previous discussions that I was privy to in the government under the Obama administration that the lawyers occasionally will, worry about whether we are being marked as a combatant if we provide this information, this intelligence. But Article 51 of the UN Charter actually allows you to provide this kind of intelligence, especially in the case of a humanitarian disaster. I mean, This attack is unprovoked, and it's not a war in any normal sense. So I think we would be covered.
Evelyn, the NBC News is reporting that the U.S. government is concerned the Russian government may retaliate against American citizens over there. A, is that concern legitimate? And B, what would it mean for U.S. involvement?
Well, U.S. citizens obviously are in harm's way if they're in Ukraine, especially, of course, where the Russians are conducting these military operations and these assaults on the cities of Kharkiv and Kyiv. So clearly they're in harm's way. Now, whether they will be singled out or not by the Russians, the Russians will have to take the consequences of that. They already are violating the Geneva Conventions. The International Criminal Court yesterday or the day before put the Russian government on notice that they were opening up an investigation on Russian military operations in Ukraine. They already have open investigations, by the way, on Russia from 2014 from their operations in Ukraine and Crimea and in the Donbass. So the Russians are violating the Geneva Conventions and human rights, and I'm afraid of what's happening next. Using cluster munitions and all the weapons they have, they're not precise. They can't distinguish between civilian and other targets very easily, these weapons. And of course, I'm also worried about the heritage sites. You see the beautiful churches in Kyiv, and unfortunately, they struck Babi Yar, which is a memorial to a Holocaust victims of the Holocaust in Ukraine from a killing of a lot of Jews and thousands of Jews in 1941. And the Jews said never again, and Putin hit it again.
Evelyn Farkas, thank you again.